Hi, my name is Kristin Kaufman. Welcome. I am coming to you today from a cold, rainy Hot Springs, Arkansas. But I wanted to spend a couple of minutes because I have been asked this question of late a multitude of times relative to my journey and, in particular, my approach to building out multiple businesses in my life. By way of introduction, my name is Kristin Kaufman, and I'm what I call a recovering corporate executive. And I have embarked upon the second chapter of my life, which is an entrepreneur lifestyle, where I am building out multiple streams of revenue, multiple businesses. And I've had so many people ask me, Kristin, have you lost your mind? Why would you have left corporate America? Why would you be at this stage in your life wanting to create multiple businesses? My goodness, I mean, you are busier now than you've ever been in your life. And why in the world would you be doing that? And why now? Why is today in the 21st century why is this such an important aspect in your life, and why are you so passionate about it? So I wanted to spend a few minutes just knocking that down. Because I am passionate about it, and I make no apologies for it. Here's why, from my perspective. I spent 25 plus years in corporate America, and to say that I loved it would be an understatement. I loved what I did in corporate America. Ultimately, I outgrew it, to be honest. It was no longer fulfilling to me. I was definitely an entrepreneur in a corporate setting. So I had that entrepreneurial spirit, yet I was working for large Fortune 50 companies as an executive, and there were pros and cons to that. Regardless, I made the decision to leave corporate America 15 years ago, and I became an ardent advocate for people creating the life they want. People creating the life they want. And my second piece of that is without giving up the creature comforts that they want. I think a lot of times people think, oh my gosh, if I go out on my own and I try to create a business, especially in today's world, I'm going to have to give up those creature comforts and that comfort that I had by getting a paycheck every couple of weeks. And here's why I am such a believer that now is the time to build out multiple streams of revenue. Number one, there are no guarantees in corporate America. I wish I had a nickel for every client that I have in one of my businesses that has come to me because they were right-sized, they were aged out, they were laid off because of a RIF, just a standard reduction in workforce. Their company was acquired and there were two heads for one box and they weren't the head that was chosen. And here they are at age 35, 45, and in some cases 55 or older, and their primary revenue stream, and in most cases, their only revenue stream outside of some investments in their 401k that they had put away, has immediately gone away. And they did not have any other way to have cash flow in their life. Okay? So the first aha is that there are no guarantees in the world, but in particular in corporate America. Number two, there is no loyalty in corporate America. And again, I think years ago, perhaps there was more of a culture of taking care of our own. But in today's arena, again, I'm living it because I coach people every day who have found themselves, after being employed by the same employer for 30 plus years, getting laid off and being replaced by someone half their age, a recent MBA graduate, or in some cases, that job just goes away because it's obsoleted. And that person, again, was hopeful that they would have some sort of a severance or some sort of a retirement package. And if they were offered one, it was certainly less than what they had hoped for. The days of pensions and large sign-out bonuses are pretty slim. So again, that person finds themselves without having a revenue stream that will help them with their cash flow. They may have a nice nest egg, but they're too young to start tapping into that. So those two realities really give me a great foundation to say, why not create an additional revenue stream for yourself? However it might look to you. For me, I believe you need to have between 7 and 8 revenue streams. Most multimillionaires in today's arena have way more than one, and most of them have between 7, 8, and in some cases 10 or more. And those could be anything from your investments to your rental property to oil and gas investments to book royalties to direct sales businesses, etc. For me, I wanted to have multiple investment passive revenue, obviously passive revenue type investment income streams, but I also wanted to have more what I would call operating investment streams or income streams. So I have my Alignment Inc. business, and I also have a direct sales business. I am an ardent advocate for having that kind of an approach. So why now? Everybody, it seems like that's anybody, is getting into some sort of a direct sales business. And I think that whole concept of a side gig or a side hustle has become even more relevant in today's arena than ever before, primarily because that's the way the market is going, number one. But number two, in the direct sales business, as many people know, timing is everything. So you want to get in when the company is just going global, or just beginning to do what I would call massive product innovations. And that gives you that wonderful opportunity to really leverage that business as it's beginning to excel. So with that, I'm just a believer that if you are wanting to create the life that you want, one aspect of that is having revenue streams that can provide for you before you actually need the revenue. And that's why I'm in the process of building out these businesses, so that when and if I decide to downshift, or I potentially might need some healthcare assistance at some point later in my life, I will have built that foundation that will give me that residual income and that will give me that additional revenue stream long before I actually am going to need to tap into it. So to answer the objection, why in the world would you leave corporate America, and why in the world would you be working so hard to invest yet another revenue stream for your portfolio? The answer to me is clear. There is no loyalty in corporate America. There is no guarantee that you're going to get any kind of a severance package when and if you decide to depart corporate America. And there is so much merit in building out multiple streams of revenue, so that if one is hit by the recession, another one can pick it up, and you continually have what I would call a portfolio revenue stream benefiting your bottom line, so that you are never caught flat-footed without having an ability to take care of yourself. That is my ardent belief. Hopefully that will address some of the questions that people have had about why I'm doing this at this stage in my life. And I would love to talk to you about that. If you have a question or concern about, my goodness, am I going to be able to provide for myself? What happens if I do lose my job? What happens if I want to have more revenue than perhaps what my current job is paying? Are there alternatives for me to consider? And the answer is yes. And I would love to share with you some of my thoughts. You can either comment below, or you can even click on the partnerwithkristin.com that I'll put right at the bottom of this video. And you can fill out that information, and we'll have a conversation when it's convenient for you. So make it a great day. Hopefully this gives you some food for thought. Let's create the life we want. And yes, you can do that without giving up the creature comforts that you want. My name is Kristin Kaufman, and I will look forward to seeing you on the other side.